Hey, Dietsan here, bringing you episode 23 of the Day and Night Podcast. Today, we will be talking about the Shield Hero rerun. During the last podcast, it was quiet times. We've always been speculative about the next collab. It has arrived, and with it, it brings two new units. We are getting both Melty and Fitoria, which are, units from the anime, Rising of the Shield Hero. They are a attacker and enhancer. I'm not really gonna go too in depth about that. It's just that one seems better than the other, and I'll let you guys figure that out after I drop the tier list. Might not be a video for that one because turns out I don't have that much speaking points about the tier list overall, but it will be getting updated around the time this video comes out. Either way, the decent units, I'd say. Is it worth pulling for? I'd still say it's a skip compared to some things we've gotten, right? But let's just go break down the Shield Hero event just a bit more. So we've got the rerun of the original event. We don't have a Chaos Field, which I'm pretty sure we had last time. Which I think is a darn shame, because I like having more Chaos Stones for free. And it's a pretty relatively easy climb. Exchange Shop has character medals, and then has the two new characters as character medals as well for achievements. All of your ones are there if you want to grab your favorite character. Maybe grab Glass, because I know how many people just love her as a character and as a unit, and would never feel regret in spending 4,000 stones in her guaranteed 10 step up at all. Besides that, all the units got buffed, and by that I mean, like, the somewhat usable in the context of now, but at the same time, they don't really get super better. So they were really, like, toned down in the amount of buffs that they've given each unit. Now, Fumi is just better than he was before, but in a way where he does have a huge change that makes him, like, broken. So he doesn't really move up or down on the tier list as well. Raftalia, like ratio numbers are up. Same thing with Philo, but still not as good as Chocoyuri. Glass hasn't really been fixed in terms of they needed to give her, like, 3,000 more attack. Or, like, another 200% on her damage ratio. Just something, like, really skewed high to make her strong. What else is there? Lark is still a squishy glass cannon. Terrace got a bit more tankier. And I think that's kind of it for all the units. We've also got some Nazarick unit buffs, which were Nazarick Aura, and her Dancing Whip got her 5 hits back with a bit of a reduced damage per hit, but at the same time raising the overall damage by a large percentage. She's definitely a really good single target attacker again, so that's kind of nice. I think Victim got some ratio buffs on his stuff. That's fine. He still kills himself on overdrive. Not so fine. Man. And then Shield Hero Undead is kind of how it was the first time it came back, because we rewind to, like, about a year ago, and then Undead content wasn't that hard until Cautious came out. And then after Cautious, Shield Hero came out after, as in terms of another hard difficulty Undead. And this keeps kind of the same thing. It was kind of hard when we had units from last time, and now after you think, like, a year of getting better units, it'd be easier. And it is, if you pulled the most OP people in the game, like, to better, right? But if you don't, this is gonna be difficult, because just like, when it first came out, the units kind of represent the Shield Hero units that came out, so that means they got a bit buffed in the things they do. It's not as bad if you've collected some of the newer units throughout this year, but if you're running kind of an older team, or you haven't really got anything really good, this is gonna be a harder Undead, which is nice, because having, like, cakewalks isn't bad, but lately, it feels like all the recent Undeads, the difficulty has been going up on them. So that's kind of good for people who have finished their teams, kind of bad for newer players. Really depends on where you're sitting at. I found it a bit frustrating because I messed up thinking it'd be easy, like, because I thought, oh, it'll be just like a year ago. But no, I just had to actually, like, run it through a few times and, like, reevaluate my team. It's a bit different than last time I've ran it, because I've obviously got us some new units. I actually pulled Restart, etc. But besides that, I think it is doable, still, with some relatively, like, A-tier units. I might actually try a challenge where I just use a bit lower on the unit tier list. But obviously, you want, like, a good healer, because shit's gonna get heavy in terms of AoE damage if you're not careful. Like, and Naofumi is gonna be your bane, because I think I remember last year a lot of people got timed out for the 50 turn requirement because Naofumi is a stalling demon, and yeah, there's obviously different ways to combat that. There's the AoE route where you AoE anything really quickly, so that like even if he has cover, it doesn't matter. Or there's the single target nuke route where you just murk Naofumi as fast as you can and then kill the rest of the units. Really depends on like what path you take to get there, is with what units you have. Best of luck to you guys who are still running it. And then we also had, within these 2-week cycles, another Nazfest unit that had come out. This is Sacred Supreme Power Bow Shoutier. At this point, I think people are starting to see the Nazarick Festival pattern that's being implemented, which is a unit from Nazarick in kind of like the equipment of the creator. So we like rewind a month to last Nazarick Festival to Aura, and it's like Supreme Power, like right shield. It goes back to her creator, who was a slime tank who used 2 shields. So most likely, if this pattern like keeps going, we'll get a Mare with left shield, right? And then in this case, Shoutier has bow, which is her creator's weapon, and then this is a bit more obvious to see because like her armor is even motifed after it, but it's harder for auras because her creator was a slime that really wasn't wearing anything. So it's like you could take that as artistic freedom of what the equipment would have looked like. It was equipped on a more humanoid character. Either way, new Shoutier, I like the kind of direction of going with like, based off the creator, because I think that's gonna be cool for upcoming units. Like Sebas is gonna be really good. I want to see Kakaitis. I want to see Demiurge. It'd probably be like Sebas, Demiurge, Kakaitis, in that order. And that's only because, not just because there's male units, but like I really want to see Touch Me in the game. People have been wanting to see Touch Me in the game for such a long time, and this is as close as we're gonna get. I think depends if they go full mask or not. And then like Demiurge's like Albert sound. It's like fucking we're gonna see fucking Demon Top Hat, man, which is like we kind of got Top Hat with Vines, but this is gonna be great. But yeah, so besides like her design, she's kind of a really strong unit, because if my calculations are correct, which someone can fact check me, but I'm pretty sure she's the 3rd highest base attack in the game. She is like, it goes PDL, thank God, because like it would have been like a shame he got power crept after like he was such like a hyped unit. And then I think it's 2 Beto, then it should be Shoutier, and then I think it's Fox right after, like Kyukitsune 5-star, and then I think maybe Toka, Devil as 5th highest attack. So even if her skills are garbage, she's like a big old like meat stick which just swings at things. And that's one of the reasons, if you looked at where I had placed the new Adventurer Lup, like she's up there only because like even if her skills don't synergize well, like she has high base attack, and like she's not like useless as a 4MP farmer, and if you do get into a burn comp, her damage does go up, but like this is even higher, just jacked attack. Her skills are like not bad either, because she has a 7MP AoE, which is like spicy, because it's ice AoE. Then she has got like single target fire attack for MP. Then she has like a crit up, and all that hits pretty decently with the ratios. So to say, her passes give her, I think, Dragon Slayer and some other high modifiers onto fire and ice as well. And then she also has access to the freeze status effect on her AoE and the burn status effect on a single target, which is kind of nice. In even the Shield Hero Undead, we start to see units with resistance to elemental debuffs, which is the term I'm coining now. Is an elemental debuff is like burn, which it gives you minus like 20% fire damage, like so you take more from fire damage plus the effect, and then stuff like burn, flood, storm, freeze, holy, stuff like that, where it's affiliated with an element on top of like doing an additional effect. So some of the enemies on the undead are immune to certain elemental debuffs, while like others aren't. So let's say you can like burn Terrace, let's say in Sheer Undead, which you totally can. Some units are susceptible to burn, which I still feel is one of the strongest status ailments in the game. And then like some units are like you can freeze, and then some units you can like apply Storm to like try to burst them down. I think getting more units with elemental debuffs kind of opens you up to more strategy, but they have to be more readily available and at like usable MP costs where you can juggle using elemental debuffs opposed to just hitting them really hard or just healing or just regularly using status buffs and debuffs. Alright, so I've got a ramble for a good bit, and I can't say that this one's going to be a super long podcast either, because all we got these 2 weeks is Shield Hero. We got some new relics too, and they're not bad. The Demiurge relic that's coming out is this crit and magic damage, which is really good. The attack stat and the HP stat don't go super high, but I'm pretty happy about it as a relic. It's because it's like budget staff, except that like you have the ability to do more deeps if you're like lucky or have good buffer debuffers, right? So I think that's pretty solid as well. We can make predictions for the future. And predictions for the future isn't really predictions from the future. It's either me saying stuff that I think will happen or saying stuff that could happen. And then which you'd be like, oh, is that actually predicting the future? And no. it's not. Okay. So Shield Hero runs till the end of the month. So that runs all of September. We might get like raid, because that's been talked about on other servers. So it seems like we're getting another Gargantua raid, right? So that sounds fun for the 2.5 year anniversary. I'm kind of skeeved about the 2.5 year anniversaries because, like, could we not have waited for the 3 year anniversary? Or, like, you're worried about the game dying, so you're just drumming up more interest. But either way, I'm not complaining about free stuff. We got the 2.5 year anniversary cakes, which are just red potions. So that gives us more health to run through all our missions with so we can grind more. And it does give us filler for the rest of September. So Gargantua raid, promises of an exchange shop with really good prizes, may or may not be a unit that people really want. Who knows? Right? And then after that, we have October, and with October comes another Halloween event, which will most likely be we get Halloween 2 and Halloween 1 rerun, because I'm pretty sure they'll just jam those in the first week or something, or first 2 weeks, and it'll be just like some medals, get the relic that doesn't really do much. It wasn't awful the first time, but I feel it's been majorly power crept at this point now. But the first Halloween relic was kind of nice. It's a shame that they don't buff older relics. Like, they buffed the Gachapur relics once, and then they actually randomly buffed like some of the collab relics. Like, and when I say some, I mean just the bare minimum, like the Nazarick and Konosuba, or like Nazarick and like Tanya, and like I think Nazarick like ReZero, I think, and then they did a small boss, but then Slayers, they didn't buff the Slayers relics, or like the Slayers and Nazarick relics, which is a shame because those relics were pretty good at their heyday, but by not buffing them, they just kind of fallen off with the new banners we've been getting. Overmars has really been pushing forward a bunch of relic exclusive banners that don't really have anything else on them but the relics, and they've been trying to like sell them as these relics are really strong, so if you do want it, pull for it. But for newer players who only like be like, oh, why would I pull for a relic when I can pull for a character, they don't pull for them. But for like people who really want like a leg up on any game content, some of these will actually help make like the difference. A great example is like the flower relic is just like high attack, high physical damage, high HP, and then it also gives you plus 4 aim, which is really invaluable in kind of harder undead content where things have natural evasion while you still want large chunks of HP and attack for your physical units. So I'm not saying that you can't beat it without it, but it makes it certainly easier to clear that kind of content, right? So like the same thing with this Demiurge relic, just more damage, a bit more HP, some good attack. Can you run staff? Yes, but like at the same time, this thing crits and staff doesn't crit. Like, it just gives you that small leg up. So it really just leaves the option of if you can afford to pull on these banners or not. And then besides that, we're probably gonna get Halloween 3, which is probably gonna be a bunch of waifu units. And I'm just kind of on a small tirade about waiting for more male units. I know male units don't sell because like an Albedo will sell more than like Demi, Sebas, and Kokaitis put together. But at the same time, you gotta admit, like, some of the cool shit is like, you know, not just waifu bait, you know, people like Ein's falling down, they like kind of the cool stuff like that. But at the same time, like, no one's willing to pull for like another Kakaitis. I'm guessing like he's never had a successful banner, because like they made one Kakaitis unit on banner besides Nazarick Fest, and like I'm guessing no one pulled for that, because like they'd be like, oh, never again. Or maybe his design is too simple, and the fact that like, what can we do to Kakaitis? Make him hold a different weapon. Oh, give him that armor from that one episode, and then that's like, ta-da! That's all the Kakaitis we've ever gotten. Demirug is a bit easier because you can dress him up, right? We got Halloween, we got Samurais. Same thing with Sebas, we got Christmas. But like, even then, I feel like those units did not sell well. Like the banners were probably underperforming with the back end of logistics of tracking how much stones were spent on the banners, right? So I think it's kind of maybe our own fault for not supporting the shitty mail units that had coming out. And then they'll be like, you know what? People drop wallets for. Never better. Never shout here. And I think maybe near the end of this year, we'll go make a video showing all the new units that have come out, and then we could count together how many Albedo Shoutiers came out. It's probably combined going to be more than 6, maybe 7. That'll be kind of disgusting. Alright, I think that's about it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're going to keep this short and sweet. And then we're probably going to upload the tier list as well after this. And then we'll just try to keep everyone in the loop still. I will still be here making content bi-weekly for the podcast. And if more interesting things do come out in the game, then I will go ahead and make a video about it. But I can't say we're having the most exciting times in Overmass. But just keep on holding on. We've hit the 2.5 year anniversary, so congratulations. Just another half year to go before we get the 3rd year. And then hopefully, like we've been talking about the last few podcasts, Season 4 comes, revitalization of players, right? And then we get better content. And anything will stay good, hopefully, right? Also, I've been working with some people on the Overlord Wikia. And then honestly, from like a year ago to now, there has been a lot of progress been made on it. So if you do have time to check it out, that'd be great. If you want to help contribute to the Wikia, I would really appreciate it. Right now, we're just building sections, and if you want to add trivia or add more details, or like you think there's something you can contribute to the Wikia, feel free to go in and just get your hands right into it, right? And hopefully we can grow it as a community. Besides that, thank you all for listening / watching, and peace.